Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name is Abhishek and I'm working at German Cancer Research Center and I'm a research scientist. In science, specifically in biology, there are several modes of communications microorganism to human exhibit, and we often see those. For example, in microorganisms are very fascinating because they are very small. However, they are associated with human from origin of human. They can be very good for you when they are involved in the healthy processes. They help us in being healthy. They can also help us in food processing. While they are bad, we call them bad when they are actually involved in keeping us diseased or destroying our fruits and vegetables or other food like bread. However, these microorganisms also communicate, and they communicate in a very systematic manner. And the communication within microorganisms or any animal can be of various types, like chemical communication, like pheromones, natural deodorant, indeed. And then can be visual communication, and then can be communication via sound. However, when you look in the bacteria, they are very small organism, and a single entity cannot harm you a lot or benefit you a lot. So what they do is that they communicate via chemical sensing, and they sense the environment, and for their survival, they vote what would be the best diplomatic way or what could be the best democratic way. And based on the voting, they go for one system, and they join together as a community and form a communication system that helps them in survival. And this is one example, but if you look into the honeybees have their honeybee dancing, where they communicate within the society to how to collect the food, how to collect the honey, and how to this is a mode of communication. And then comes to all animals are communicating. As a human, we also communicate. And in the age of digital technology, we communicate, often talk. I'm a scientist, and as a scientist, we often go to give a talk. We give talk about our scientific performances. And who are the listeners, and do we listen them? Do we listen our client? Do we listen our peers? Do we listen our colleagues properly? And are we trained? Are scientists trained for listening? For, say, I'm giving a scientific community, I am telling to all human, are we trained for communication? Specifically for sensing and listening. I must say we are poor listeners, all of us, and we must train ourselves. And because any conflict and any issue which exists in the world, say between a couple or between parents and children, or within a city or within a state or within countries, warlike situations, if we listen each other properly, majority of problems can be solved. But we do not listen, and there comes the problem. And to resolve this problem, we must encourage listening, also part of the curriculum of our children, and also to young like me. And over the years, I have been part of large consortia, and what I learned and what I think is the best way is to train ourselves for listening. And this can be done in 4 simple steps, or simply you be in the moment, drop down your communication weapons. There are laptops, there are mobile phones, there is a Facebook, WhatsApp, and whatnot. There are several modes of communication. We receive messages, but if I am in a meeting, one should try that you are communicating only at that moment. You're listening to others, you're talking to them, and try to understand. Do not go to a meeting when you are over. If you have no sense of commitment to that meeting, because if you have to do something else, do not go there, because then you are not going to benefit from it, or you're not going to benefit others. And therefore it is important that when we are in a meeting, we drop down all our digital devices and worries, and be active in listening environment, sensing environment, and listening to others. And then comes how do we improve on that. I myself is not very good listener at the moment, but what I learned over the years, that like we, at the end of the day, we sit down and we note down what was my performance for today. I must also look, or we must also look, if we can communicate, and if we listen this today properly, and if we do not listen today properly, we must focus on that, how I can improve tomorrow. And secondly, for the larger sake, like we encourage kids for reading, writing, we must also encourage them for learning and listening, and listening properly. And we must start from the home. We must listen to our partners, we must listen to our children, because this is the biggest gift you can offer to anyone, by listening to them properly. The kids may, when you are returning home, kids may have many things to tell you, and encourage them to talk and give them some time that you are listening them. That will give them a very good confidence, plus encourage them also to listen, because listening is caring. Thank you very much.